Let's go to Senator Dastyari. Very close.
I won't take up too much of the Senate's time. Mr. Acting Deputy President, I want to begin by thanking Senator Roberts. I thought he put his case quite eloquently. It's good to know that this was a decision that was made by the One Nation Party, and thank you for clarifying that the Greens, in the end, with a lot of struggle, ended up coming and adopting a One Nation position at the end of this. I think that's a very important point. No, I want to think. Look, I've got to say, after the election, when we first came back to this place, I thought there'd be some kind of, I thought we were all talking about marriage equality, and marriage equality was going to be a big issue that we're going to deal with, hopefully in this parliament, hopefully in the first 6 months. And there was all this talk of a rainbow coalition. Well, we've seen the new rainbow coalition emerge. The Green, One Nation, National Party, Liberal Party coalition. And as Senator Roberts was saying, this is good. This is the future. We're seeing a crystal ball into the new year. And Senator McKim, it is fantastic that despite your differences with Senator Roberts, despite the fact that you spent the day on Twitter attacking each other about protesters, you're able to fold and give in to their policy positions when you see the merits of the arguments that are being made. And Senator Roberts is right. If Senator Roberts is right, you folded because you saw the empirical evidence. You saw the empirical evidence of Senator Roberts' argument. And in the end, the Greens Party ended up adopting a One Nation position. And where are they? Where are the other Greens? They're not even here. I mean, we haven't even heard from Senator Whish-Wilson in this debate. Who knows where he is at the moment?
Senator McKim, point of order.
Quickly, it's incumbent on me to point out that, in fact, Senator Whish-Wilson is in the chair at the moment and fulfilling a duty to the Senate.
Thank you, Senator McKim. That is a debating point.
You're going to be getting up and defending Senator Roberts. But I've got to say, Senator Roberts, I did see you a bit earlier, and I noticed there was a web video that you did earlier with a Jean-Claude Van Damme. I hope the minister won't be offended by this, but we call him the real Muscles from Brussels, as opposed to the other one. But I thought it was appropriate because, having a bit of backbone, having a bit of spine, being able to stand up and fight for your position. And I think it's fitting, Senator McKim, that we had Van Damme in the building here today, actually kind of trying to instill a sense of you've got to stand up for something, you have to believe in something. Because what we've seen from the Greens is they fold, they give in. They give in, you gave in. You gave in the first bit of pressure that could come, and you gave in to adopt One Nation's policy position. Now, this whole thing's been fairly sticky from the start, and not sticky in the sense of protesters that you're all mates with, but sticky in the sense that the policy on this has been shady from go to woe. And the Greens have once again, this whole idea, the second the government turns around and puts any kind of pressure, the second the government turns around and says, if you don't do this, you fold. You have to learn that you have to stand up for some principles sometimes in this place, Senator McKim. And I'm disappointed. Look, I said this before. People look. Pragmatism is important in politics, but so is policy. So is standing up for what you believe. So is standing up for some policy.
Order.
Mate, through you, Chair. Through you, Chair. It's the Greens Party that are adopting the One Nation agenda. I mean, we saw it a few months ago when Ms Hanson made her first speech. They got up and, in some kind of theatrical flourish, walked out. I didn't realise they were walking out so they could go and adopt her policy book. They must have heard the speech, thought they got so inspired they ran out to see how many of these policies they can adopt for themselves. And when Senator Roberts is playing the tune, it's Senator McKim who's following. And I've got to say, Senator McKim, the Pied Piper. Senator Roberts is the Pied Piper. Now, I know there's been a lot of talk recently from the Leader of the Government in the Senate about the obsession that Mr Dreyfus from the other place may have in him. Now, I don't think there's any truth to that. But what I do notice from your social media feed, Senator McKim, is the obsession that you seem to have with Senator Roberts. And look, I'm all for that. I'm very open-minded about these matters. But what I'm surprised about is that it's extended towards the policy adoption the policy development process. And we always knew the Greens were a bit light-eyed on policy, but I didn't realise they were so desperate for votes they were going to try and steal the One Nation policy agenda. And with that, I will conclude to give the Senate enough time to actually debate.